To set up for the squat, start with the bar in the rack just below shoulder height. Take the bar with an even grip, stepping forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together to create a shelf with your traps and your shoulder blades. The grip can be modified in order to reduce stress on the elbows or the wrists. As you wedge yourself underneath the bar, take a big breath, bracing all the way around through the trunk. Stand straight up out of the rack and take 1 to 2 steps back. Once you have found your stance, take another big breath, bracing all the way around the trunk, and begin the squat by bending the hips and the knees simultaneously, sitting straight down and pushing up into the bar with your shoulders, leading with the chest. Keep your weight evenly distributed between the forefoot and the heel, making sure that both stay on the ground at all times. In terms of modifications for the squat, if elbow, wrist, or shoulder mobility is a problem, specialty barbells can be used that can mimic still the same back squat pattern, allowing you to load heavy through the trunk while sparing the upper limbs. Multiple options exist for this, and they change the lift minimally. Another option for people who either have a hard time keeping their heels on the ground or have a hard time maintaining an upright trunk during the squat is to elevate the heels. This reduces dorsiflexion demand at the ankle and allows a deeper squat with a more upright torso. Common fault that we see is knee cave, this valgus collapse right here. This is easily addressed by putting a band around the knees, giving them a tactile cue to push their knees out. You can also cue them to screw their feet into the ground as though trying to turn their toes out. The stance can be modified to fit the individual lifter. Some people do better with a parallel stance or with a slight toe out position. Other people do better with a much wider position. This all depends on their individual anatomy and what they've trained previously. When spotting the squat, you want to support them when needed at the most stable position for you to contact the lifter. That is not going to be grabbing underneath the elbows or torquing the elbows. That can throw the bar over their head. If there's a large size difference between you and the lifter, you can support at the bar itself. Alternatively, if you can get in close enough, you can come underneath and grab underneath the fronts of the shoulders to support the bar directly below its point of contact on the lifter. Then, as needed, you can help them walk the weight back into the rack, because if you needed to spot them on a lift, they should not be trying to attempt another rep on that set. Key points for the squat. Squeeze the shoulder blades together to create that tight upper back shelf. You want very solid contact with the bar. Brace the trunk all the way around. This is not just arching the back, this is tightening the abs and the trunk in every direction. Dig the feet into the ground. Keep the weight evenly distributed between the forefoot and the heel. Sit with the hips and push the upper back into the bar throughout the movement. Lead with the chest on the way up to ensure that the hips don't rise before the shoulders.